Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me and hear me well. This is your time. I know life is loud. I know distractions are pulling you in every direction. But let me tell you something. You were not born to be average. You were born with greatness in you. And the only thing standing between where you are and the life you dream about is your focus. You've got goals, and you didn't come this far just to come this far. It's time to lock in. Time to tune out the noise, turn up your discipline, and take hold of your destiny. You've got the power, you've got the vision. Now it's time to stay focused and finish what you started. In a world overflowing with noise, information, and constant demands on our attention, the ability to eliminate distractions and create a focused environment has become not just valuable, but essential. Every single one of us is bombarded daily by text messages, emails, social media notifications, and responsibilities pulling us in countless directions. And for many, this creates a chaotic mental landscape where the most important goals slowly begin to fade into the background. The truth is, you cannot stay focused and achieve greatness while living in constant reaction mode. Focus requires intention. It requires discipline, and it starts with protecting your environment. Distractions are not always obvious. Sometimes they show up looking like opportunities. Sometimes they come dressed as responsibilities, as relationships, or even our own excuses. If you want to eliminate distractions, you first have to become brutally honest with yourself about what is truly taking your time and energy. Begin by auditing your day. Where are your hours going? How many of them are spent scrolling mindlessly, multitasking, or doing things that add no real value to your progress? Most people don't realize they're leaking their potential in small moments. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, until it's too late. But those small leaks add up and create massive gaps between intention and results. Once you know where your distractions lie, you must make the conscious decision to build a focused environment. That means structuring your day, your space, and your mind to support your highest goals. Your environment should be designed to serve your growth, not sabotage it. If your workspace is cluttered, if your phone is constantly buzzing, or if you're surrounded by people who don't respect your time, then staying focused becomes nearly impossible. You have to take back control, turn off notifications, set boundaries with people who interrupt your flow, declutter the space where you work so your mind can breathe, create a physical and mental zone that is dedicated to progress, not procrastination. There's a saying, you can't expect to soar with eagles if you're hanging around with pigeons. The people around you can either lift your focus or destroy it. Surrounding yourself with individuals who are also focused, driven, and purpose-minded will naturally elevate your own discipline. On the flip side, constant exposure to negativity, drama, or lazy thinking will erode your motivation. Part of eliminating distractions is cutting off energy drainers, whether they are people, habits, or patterns. And this isn't about being cold-hearted. It's about honoring your potential. You weren't born to play small. You weren't born to just coast through life. Your goals demand more from you, and that starts with choosing what you allow into your space. Technology, while a powerful tool, can also be one of the greatest thieves of focus. Social media, email, constant messaging, it's a trap of endless reaction. To win the war on distraction, you have to reclaim your time. That means scheduling blocks where you go offline. It means using tools that help you focus instead of ones that keep you tethered to every ping and pop-up. You might even try time, blocking your day, using timers to work in short bursts, or practicing deep work where you give one task your full attention. These are not just hacks. They are habits of high achievers. Another powerful way to eliminate distractions is by learning to say no. For many, The inability to stay focused isn't about a lack of ambition. It's about overcommitment. Saying yes to everything means saying no to your dreams. You must protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. When you learn to say no to things that don't align with your goals, you create room for the things that do. You gain clarity, energy, and most importantly, the ability to move forward with momentum. Mental clutter is another hidden distraction. Even when your outer environment is organized, if your inner world is scattered, focus will be fleeting. That's why practices like journaling, meditation, or even simply taking a few minutes of silence each day can help clear the fog. These habits help you center yourself, stay grounded, and connect with what really matters. Focus is not just about blocking out the world, it's about tuning into yourself. When your thoughts are aligned with your goals, when your mind is clear and your purpose is strong, your ability to execute becomes unstoppable. When it comes to achieving your biggest goals, clarity is power. And the most effective way to gain clarity is by breaking your goals down into clear, actionable steps with specific deadlines. A goal without a plan is just a wish, and too many people get stuck in the dream stage because they never take the time to map out the journey. They get excited about the destination but never build the road to get there. You can't just say, "I want to be successful," or "I want to get in shape," or "I want to start my business," and expect it to magically happen. You need a blueprint. You need a step-by-step process that tells your mind exactly what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. One of the first things you must do is get crystal clear on the outcome. What exactly are you trying to achieve? The clearer you are, the more powerful your focus becomes. Vague goals produce vague results. If your goal is to start a business, then what kind of business? When do you want to launch? What are the financial targets? Who is your ideal customer? The more detailed your goal, the easier it becomes to reverse engineer the process. Once you've defined the end point, break it into smaller milestones. Think in phases. What do you need to accomplish in the next year, the next 6 months, the next 3 months, this week, today? These milestones become your checkpoints. They help you measure progress and adjust your course when necessary. They also make the goal feel less overwhelming. A massive dream can feel intimidating when viewed as one giant leap. But when broken into bite-sized tasks, it becomes manageable, tangible, and doable. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't just say, "I want to write a book." Break it down, decide on the topic, outline the chapters, set a word count goal per day, pick your writing schedule, and give yourself a finish date. Each of those steps creates structure, and structure breeds consistency. Deadlines are equally important. Without deadlines, there is no urgency. Without urgency, procrastination creeps in. Deadlines create pressure, and pressure can be a powerful motivator when used correctly. Most people underestimate the power of time, blocking and scheduling their goals like appointments. When you assign a time and date to a task, you give it priority in your life. You send a message to your brain that this matters. You don't leave it up to chance or emotion. You don't wait to feel like it. You execute because it's on the plan. It's also important to write everything down. Goals that live only in your mind are easy to forget, distort, or avoid. When you put your plan on paper or into a digital planner, you bring it into the physical world. You create accountability. You can see it, track it, and check things off. And every time you complete a step, you gain momentum. That sense of progress fuels confidence. You begin to see that what once felt far away is now within reach. It becomes real. Another key part of actionable planning is identifying obstacles in advance. Don't just plan for success, plan for resistance. What are the things that could slow you down? What bad habits might try to resurface? who or what could distract you from your mission. By anticipating these roadblocks, you can develop strategies to overcome them before they even appear. You become proactive rather than reactive, and that's the mindset of a high achiever. Don't forget the importance of flexibility. While having a structured plan is vital, life doesn't always follow a script. You must be willing to adjust. Sometimes goals need to evolve, timelines shift, or circumstances change. That's okay. What matters most is not rigid perfection, but consistent progress. If you miss a step or a deadline, don't abandon the entire goal. Recalibrate, realign your plan and keep moving, and finally, celebrate the small wins. Every completed step is a victory. Every action taken, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dream. When you acknowledge and celebrate progress, you build a positive feedback loop in your brain. You begin associating effort with reward, which reinforces your motivation to keep going. Success is not one giant leap. It's a series of deliberate, focused actions executed over time. When you break your goals into a system of clear steps and deadlines, you stop chasing your dream and start building it. You stop wishing and start working. You stop waiting and start walking. You become the architect of your own destiny, brick by brick, step by step, day by day. Staying consistent by building daily habits that align with your vision is the foundation of long-term success. It's not the big bursts of motivation that lead to breakthroughs. It's the quiet, repeated actions done over and over, even when no one is watching. If your dream is big, your discipline must be bigger. Consistency is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only talk about them. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And those systems are made of the habits you practice every single day. Habits are powerful because once they are ingrained, they remove the need for willpower. You don't have to force yourself to do something you're conditioned to do. You just do it. That's why developing daily rituals that support your growth is one of the smartest things you can do. Start with small, sustainable actions. It's better to begin with 10 minutes of focused work a day and stay consistent than to aim for perfection and burn out after a week. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds belief. To build effective habits, start by identifying which actions align most directly with your goals. If you're trying to get in shape, then your habits need to involve exercise, nutrition, and rest. If your goal is financial freedom, then daily habits might include budgeting, learning about investing, or generating income streams. The key is alignment. Every habit should serve your vision. If it doesn't, it's a distraction disguised as routine. Be intentional about how you spend your time and energy. Ask yourself daily, are my actions today taking me closer to my goals or pulling me further away? Morning routines play a major role in habit formation. How you start your day often determines how the rest of it unfolds. That's why many high performers begin their mornings with structured routines. Things like journaling, exercise, reading, goal setting, or meditation. These activities ground you, center your focus, and remind you of your purpose before the world has a chance to interrupt. You begin each day on offense rather than defense, and over time, this leads to massive compound results. Tracking your habits is another game changer. What gets measured gets improved. Use a journal, a calendar, or an app to track your daily progress. This not only keeps you accountable, but also gives you visual proof of your commitment. It's one thing to think you're being consistent. It's another to see the evidence. When you track your habits, you become more self-aware, you notice patterns, you catch yourself slipping before it becomes a slide. And that awareness gives you the power to correct course quickly. Another vital part of staying consistent is managing your energy. You can't sustain great habits if you're constantly running on empty. That's why self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Get enough sleep, eat well, take breaks, move your body, protect your peace. When your body and mind are nourished, your focus sharpens and your willpower strengthens. You are better equipped to follow through on your commitments when your health is a priority. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up. That's part of the journey. But successful people don't let their feelings dictate their actions. They act according to their standards, not their moods, and that's where discipline comes in. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't want to. It's resisting the urge to take the easy path. It's showing up on the hard days, the boring days, the frustrating days, because you made a promise to yourself. And every time you honor that promise, you strengthen your identity as someone who follows through. Environment also plays a role in consistency. Surround yourself with reminders of your vision. Put your goals where you can see them. Eliminate temptations that trigger old habits. Associate with people who uplift you and hold you accountable. Your surroundings should reinforce your mission, not distract from it. Create systems that make success the default choice. For example, if you want to read more, keep a book by your bed. If you want to work out, lay out your clothes the night before. Reduce friction between you and your desired behavior. Make it easy to start, and momentum will take care of the rest. Lastly, remember that progress is not always linear. Some days will feel powerful, others will feel slow. That's normal. The goal isn't perfection, it's persistence. Missing one day won't break you, but quitting will. Consistency isn't about doing everything right all the time. It's about doing the right things regularly enough that they become part of who you are. When your habits match your vision, you no longer have to rely on bursts of motivation. You become driven by purpose, and that purpose pulls you forward, one habit at a time, until your dream is no longer a possibility. It's your reality. So, if you truly want to stay focused and achieve your biggest goals, understand this. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating a powerful rhythm of daily discipline. Eliminate the distractions that are stealing your future. Break your dreams down into steps so clear, even fear has no room to breathe. And then build habits so consistent, they move you forward even on the days you feel like quitting. You have something special. You have greatness within you. Your dreams are valid, your vision is worthy, and your potential is unmatched. Now is the time to lock in, stay committed, and walk boldly toward the life you were born to live. The future is yours, but only if you stay focused long enough to claim it.